First thing is that I'm going to cover entire core Java classes. Why core Java before? Because before core Java knowledge, we cannot proceed with the Selenium because in Selenium there are so many all the topics I would say are based on core Java only. So if you do not have the understanding of core Java, then it will be difficult to understand Selenium, and that will become more difficult when I will cover the Selenium framework part, right? So I would say before starting of the class, please make the class interactive. If you have any doubt, ask. If there is no, then also you can say I do not have doubt, or you can ping also, right? And yes, that's all. So let's start with this class. First one is core Java. So what is Java? I know many of you know have the knowledge of core Java. Many of you do not have any knowledge of core Java. Okay. So I will consider both things, and based on that, I will take the classes. So as you see the definition, core Java is a very high-level language. It is a robust, object-oriented, and secure programming language. It is used for application development. It was first released by Sun Microsystem in 1995, but later it is acquired by the Oracle Corporation, right? So now Oracle has the right of core Java. So this is a definition. Now there are so many terms I have used, like it is high level, robust, object oriented. Like what are all these meaning? So we also have to know all these meanings. So that I will cover in the advantages of Java. Mhm. So first thing is like Java is object oriented. Before the development of Java, whatever programming language you see, whether it is C language or anyone, those are not object oriented. Once the Java has comes into the picture, then this object oriented concept also comes into the picture. What is object oriented concept? That I will discuss just after this section. But why Java is called object oriented? Because it allows to create modular maintainable applications and reusable code. Now, what is the meaning of modular maintainable application? And what is the meaning of reusable code, right? So the modular means if you have seen any application, so there are several sections of an application. Like if I take the example of Flipkart application only, so there are so many sections. Like once you log in, then there is a sign up section, then there is a product search section, cart section, buy now section. So in that way, that application has been divided into several sections, and that is basically known as the module. So only reason behind making any application is modular because it creates it gives the readability or the better customization, better UI customization to the user. Like a user can if open the Facebook application, say so he doesn't need any kind of training to use that application, right? He himself can simply open and navigate across the applications and can do whatever he want to do, right? So that is why the application basically we create application as a modular maintainable. Like each and there will be for a particular functionality or to perform a certain activity, there will be a certain module. So you have to go to that section and you can do such activity over there. So this is the meaning of modulable maintainable application. Our framework when I will cover the framework, so that I will also make modular maintainable. Okay. Now the reusable code. Reusable code means let's suppose I'm developing a calculator application using core Java language. Okay. So in calculator there are several things. I can do addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. These are the basic functions that I can do in core Java, right? Sorry, in a calculator application. Okay. So what I can do, I can write all the things like addition, subtraction, multiplication in a single program. But let's suppose now I have to write addition of two programs, so I have written the code. Tomorrow I need to do the addition of three numbers. So again, I have to write the same code. If I have to do the subtraction of two number, three numbers, four numbers. So every time same code I'm writing every time in that program, right? So the problem is that I'm doing the same thing, but every time I'm writing the same code. So is there any way I can make that common code? Like there is a common code that or a section of code that is performing a certain functionality that is every time we need to use. So is it possible to create to put that section of code in a common code, and once I just need it, I will call it and I will use it in my program, right? So yes, that is facilities available in Core Java. The concept is method. There is a method concept. With the help of that, we can make the code reusable. Right? So this is just a theoretical example I have given. In today's class only, we will cover the method one. So then you will understand how the method is useful to make the code reusable. Okay, so as of now, due to this modular maintainable application and the reusability of code, Java is object oriented. Now the second one is Java is platform independent language. What is the meaning of platform independent? I will come to this section. Third one is Java secure. Why Java is secure? Java program is a secure programming language because it doesn't support the explicit pointer concept. Before Java, if you have any knowledge of C programming, or if you do not know also that then that is also fine. In C there is a concept of pointer. So what happens in pointer when I want to store anything, any value in a program? If you have done programming before, then you can understand what I'm saying. I have to create a variable, then only I can store any value. Okay. And when I create any variable, so it occupies some memory space. In the memory, it takes a space and that variable then stores that value in that memory, in that space. So value is fine. That variable can hold the value, and then whatever operation I want to perform, I can do that. But with the help of pointer, what happens? Pointer can refer to that memory address, not only the value. With the help of pointer, I can also refer to the memory address. Let's suppose there is a value I am creating, like there is a variable I am creating which is holding value 5. And let's suppose it has a memory location 1000 x in the memory. At this place, this variable is storing a value called 5. So what pointer will do, it will also refer to this memory location. That means it can also access this memory location. Till value it is fine. Whatever value I have assigned, you can access that one. Like it is the example of database. You can open a database, you can do your query searches, you can creating a new table, modifying, deleting, searching, right? But I haven't given you the admin access. You do not have the admin access. You can only log in and you can do your whatever permission I have given you. You can only perform that thing. So same concept is here only. You can access the value, that is fine. But with the help of pointer, I can also access the memory location also. And now this one makes the application less secure. Why? Because if I know the memory location, then I can do any wrong activity, any hacking also I can do. This is just a value. But let's suppose at this place, there are some sensitive information I have stored. And if by any chance I get the location, then I can enter over there and I can do some modification there and I can hack the system or I can do some bad thing, right? So this was the problem with the pointers concept in C language. So what happens in Java? Java has removed totally this except pointers concept, and by this, Java has achieved the secure programming language tag. So now that is why Java is known as secure programming language. You can only access the value, you cannot access the memory address. I will keep on taking the topics. If you have many doubts, you can pitch in and you can ask. Okay. Third one is Java is robust. Why Java is robust programming language? Because first is it has a very strong memory management. Strong memory management. If I give you an example, let's suppose I have written a code, a program, and I have created some variables, some methods, right? And that program are holding some. That program is holding some space in the memory. Once I run the program, it has given me the result also. Okay. But what about that? After that, that program is holding some memory, right? So it is occupying some space in the memory. So what happens in Java, once you run your program and for so long time, let's suppose 1 hour, 2 hour, 1 day or 2 day, you are not using that program. That is holding some memory location. So it automatically runs a garbage memory operation, garbage collection operation. What it does, it automatically removes or release all those memory spaces if you are not using that program for a long time or for some time like 1 hour or 2 hour or after 10 minutes or 15 minutes, it automatically internally it keep on checking, the Java keep on checking like if that program is getting used. If it is not getting used, so that memory location will be released, and that memory location now can be used by other program. Once you run this program again, then again that memory location will be assigned to that program. So in that way, Java manages the memory location, memory management very strongly. This is one of the advantage in Java. And it all these operations are done internally by the Java automatically. We do not need to do it explicitly in our program. We can also do it, but if you do not do it also, then also it will be taken care of internally. Only the difference is that if you do it explicitly in your program, then just after running your program, all the memory location will be released. But if you are not doing it in your program, so after some time, it will be taken care of internally by the Java. This is the only difference. Okay. Now, second one, we can also handle exceptions throughout the Java code. Exceptions, I will come on the exception chapter when the exception has a separate chapter in core Java. So then you will understand the importance of exception. Okay. So first of all, it is efficiently utilizing the memory. Second one, it also handles the exception. And third one, it also keep on checking that code, the type checking of the code. It means once you write anything in any program, any line, then it checks whether the syntax is correct or not, or the data assignment that you are doing is correct or not. So many checkings are done at the time when you are running your program by using core Java language. So this facility is also there. So due to these three things, core Java becomes robust. One is the efficient memory location. Second one, it handles exception. Third one, it also done the it also do the type checking whenever we write our code. It gives the example like here you are committing mistake, this is the wrong, this is, and also gives the suggestion what to do. If this is wrong, if this is error, then how you can resolve that error. So that option also Java gives. So that is why Java is a robust programming language. Object oriented done, platform independent I will cover, secure is done, robust is done. It is also item oriented. Again, it's the same thing. You can manage reusable code. You can create your standard projects in Eclipse. You can create your standard projects. Under that, you can develop your application. So it actually helps us to manage our code very efficiently. In the project section, in the project there are so many sections. Under that, you can create your coding, your program. So once the classes will progress, then you will understand how we can manage our codes, our programs with the help of projects. So due to the reason it provides the standard project management and the reusability of code, Java is also known as object item oriented. Okay, so these are the reasons. Now the most important thing and the important also from the interview perspective, like why Java is called platform independent. This is an interview questions you can expect. So that is why we have to understand this thing. How Java becomes platform oriented. What has been implemented in this that makes the Java platform independent. Whenever I'm talking about platform, it means the operating system. In the program, if I'm talking about platform, it is operating system. There are so many operating system: Windows, Linux, Vista, Mac OS, right? So how Java is platform or independent? If I see this definition, it means Java can be run across all these operating systems. This is what I can understand with the help of this question, right? But how? How it is possible? That we have to understand. There are two parts in Java. When we write our program, and once I run the program, once it gives me the result. So from starting point to the end point, there are two parts. One is the compiler and one is the JVM. So first, I have written a program, right? Now I want to run my program so that I can see the expected result. So now we have to understand step by step process what happens internally. When I write the program, so first compiler comes into the picture. Its name is Java C. Its name, its technical name is Java C in core Java. So what it does, if I open my Eclipse as of now, let's suppose this is a program I have written and the name is forms.java. So if you see the extension .java, whenever you write any program, that gets saved with .java extension. Okay. Now what compiler will do? It will convert your source code. This is your source code, the program that you have written. This .java file. This is your .java file, right? To the bytecode. That means it will convert your source code into a bytecode and the extension of the file will be .class. This you cannot see because this is done by the compiler internally. That is why this .class file we cannot see how it has been converted and how it looks like. That we cannot see. It is basically done internally. Okay. So it converts the source code into a bytecode. Okay. Now what JVM does? JVM executes this bytecode. Done. Now this bytecode can run on any platform such as Windows, Linux, Mac OS. Now try to understand. When you write this source code I have written in Windows application, in Windows environment, Windows platform, right? Let's suppose this one I have written in C program. When I copy this program and when I transfer to one of my friend laptop, which is Mac OS, the program I have written in a C language. When I transfer this source code and I try to run in the Mac OS, it is not possible to run because the Mac OS syntax, the C language syntax for Mac OS is different. And the C language syntax for Windows is different. Everything will be same, but the syntax will be different. That is why the program, the C program that I have written in my window and that is working fine for my system will not work in the Mac OS system due to the syntax difference. Okay, but This problem has been eliminated in Java due to the introduction of this bytecode. Your source code is different across different platforms, but this bytecode is common across all the platforms. Like if you convert your source code into a bytecode, and now if you transfer this to your Mac OS, then your program will run in that operating system also, because Mac OS in the Mac OS bytecode is same, in your Windows bytecode is also same. Only source code is different, but bytecode is same. So whenever you try to run your Java program, first of all, it will be converted into bytecode. So whether it is Windows, whether it is Mac OS, or whether it is Linux, ultimately it is getting converted into bytecode, and bytecode can be understandable by all the operating system. So that is why that problem has been eliminated. Okay. Is there any problem? Like I am seeing many are dropping and then joining. Is there any problem? Any connectivity issue? Some are, I think most of you are stable. I cannot see you are deleting, you are dropping and joining, but some of I have noticed. Actually, I said in the group, like if you create an account in Skype and you use the same account in your laptop and your mobile also, and you join from both sides, then you will not face this issue. Same thing I'm doing. I'm speaking from my mobile speaker and I'm presenting my screen on the laptop. So that is why for me there is no problem. And same I suggested to all of you. Okay. Now move on to the topic. So the bytecode is common across all the operating system, which means a compiled on Windows can run on Linux and vice versa. Each operating system has different JVM. Now your program has been compiled. Now I want to run that compiled program. So who will run? JVM will run the program. JVM, Java Virtual Machine, is responsible to run our program that we are writing. Java C is responsible to compile our program. JVM is responsible to run our program. So once it is compiled to bytecode, now JVM will comes into the picture. It will run my program. Now JVM is different across all the operating system. The JVM for Windows is different, JVM for Linux is different, JVM for Mac OS is different. But the operation of JVM is same. The operation of JVM is to run the bytecode. Try to understand. JVM is different across. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, now. Actually, the power cut was happened. That is why I lost the connectivity. Okay, fine. Yeah, so I was saying JVM is different, but the operation of JVM is same. Like on every operating system, JVM will do the same thing to run the bytecode. And now we know like bytecode is same across all the operating systems. So it doesn't bother to me like JVM is different across all the operating system, because the work of JVM is to run the bytecode, and my bytecode is same across all the operating system, right? So due to this reason, Java is platform independent. Source code will be different, but it has introduced the concept of bytecode. Now the bytecode is same across all the operating system. JVM has the purpose. It will come. Just now it is connecting. My system is connecting with the Wi-Fi. So in some time you will see my screen also. So JVM, what it will do? JVM will do will run the bytecode, right? And now due to this reason, Java is platform independent. Like I can run my code in Windows and I can run the same in the macOS because what will happen in macOS? First, it will be converted into bytecode. JVM is different, but the JVM what it will do, it will just run the bytecode. The bytecode due to this bytecode concept, which is same across all the operating system, that makes the Java platform independent. Can you see my screen now? Anyone?
No.
No?
Till now.
Let me share again. Now I'm sharing. Please confirm if you can see.
Yes, we can see.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And I think class is also recording. Yes, fine. Now, if you see the same thing in this diagram, then you will understand what I have explained. Your Java program compiled to bytecode. Now, by this bytecode is same across all the operating system, right? And now the second part, file name.java, it converted into bytecode. That means dot class file. So once it is compiled, and now this bytecode is same across all the operating system, and each and every operating system has a JVM. This JVM that will interpret or it will just run this bytecode into your and it will give you the result. Now this bytecode is different across all the operating system, but its work is to just run this bytecode. So it doesn't matter whether JVM is different or not. It doesn't matter because it will what it will do, it will just run the byte and I will get my result. This two diagram clearly explaining the theoretical part that I have written and that I have explained. And due to this reason, Java is platform independent. If anyone asks you, so you have to explain in that. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Or if no, then you can say no also.
Clear for now, Sunny.
Thank you. So this is core Java definition and the advantages of core Java, right? Now we will move on to the object-oriented concept. As I said, like Java is based on object-oriented concept. The short form is OOPS concept, object-oriented programming. So there are some object-oriented programming concepts. Based on that, programming languages are defined like Java, C Sharp, Python, right? All these are based on OOPS concept. So one by one, we will see and understand the definitions. The first one is abstraction. The meaning of abstraction is hiding the internal details and only showing the external functionality. Example is a phone call. If I have to make you call, then what I will do? I will go to contact, I will search your number, I will dial. And in fraction of second, I will be connected with you and I will start talking with you. Right? So this is the external thing that we know. But internally, how these calls are getting connected from my side to your side and how internally everything is getting handled, we do not know about this. Right? We do not know about this. So the same on the same concept, this abstraction is also created. Abstraction means hiding the internal details. Like we won't be able to see the what happening internally. We can also only see the external thing, like the output only we can see. So based on this same concept, a concept in core Java has been created. So what is that concept? I will explain when I will take the programming class. Am I audible, right?
Yes,
Yes.
Yes,
but
yes.
your penis is not.
One second. So much power for happening. Just 1 second. Okay, so this is the meaning of abstraction. Next one is encapsulation. Encapsulation means the wrapper. The wrapper, if I give you an example, a chocolate contains in a wrapper, right? So the same example. A capsule, the chemicals are there in the wrapper, and it is binded by the upper wrapper. So based on the same concept, this encapsulation has been created. That means binding the code and the data, program and the data together into a single unit is known as encapsulation. The example is a capsule. It is wrapped with the different medicines. A Java class is the example of encapsulation. Like in Java, when we create a class, that is based on this encapsulation concept. So if anyone asks you, like, what is the example of encapsulation in core Java, then you will say, when we create a Java class in Java, that is based on the encapsulation concept. Okay. Next one is inheritance. Inheritance, acquiring the property from our parents, transferring the property from parent to the child. This is the meaning of inheritance, and based on the same concept, there is a topic called inheritance in core Java that we will discuss separately. Next one is polymorphism. Polymorphism, performing the same activity but in different format. If one task is performed in a different ways, it is known as polymorphism. Example, addition of two number, addition of three number, addition of four number. So what I'm doing, I'm adding, but I'm adding different numbers. So the performing same activity, but in a different ways. My way of performing that activity will be different. Your way of performing that activity will be different. But what we are doing, we are performing the same thing. Only the way of performing is different. That is known as polymorphism. In Java, we use overloading concept and method overriding concept. These two concepts are based on polymorphism in core Java. In Java, okay. Today we will cover method overloading. There are two types of polymorphism. One is static and one is dynamic. The static one is known as method overloading. Dynamic one is known as method overriding. So what is overloading? What is overriding? That we will cover. Okay. But as of now, just remember polymorphism has two types. Static one is known as method overloading, and dynamic one is known as method overriding. Okay.
Sunny, can you tell me
Yes.
like how the class is an example for encapsulation?
Sorry, can you come again?
No, can you please tell me like how class is an example for encapsulation?
Okay, I will create a class after this theoretical topic. Then I will explain how it becomes, how encapsulation is uh, managed in
Okay.
that while it's creating a class, right? Now, interface. Interface is again a separate chapter that we will not understand if I try to understand or try to make you understand also, right? Because before that you have to understand what is class. Before that you have to understand inheritance, abstract class. These are some topics of core Java. Once you understand all this, then you can understand what is interface. So as of now, I am not explaining this topic. First, I will explain class one by one. I will go. Then at the end, I will take the interface class. Then you will understand the importance of interface. Okay. So in object-oriented program, these are the topics: abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, interface. Right. Today we will get to know about abstraction, encapsulation, and polymorphism, static part. These three part today we will come to know. So those are the theoretical topic. Now installation of Java in your system. How many like already have installed or you can use your Eclipse to write a program? For how many Java configuration is already done? Can I know the name? Anjum Patel. Can you raise your hand? Mahesh TV done. Jaya done. Sanjay done. Jayashree and Praveen. There are two guest students. One is Pawan, I guess. Jayashree also done. Fine. I think most of you have done. So I have a document that I will share in the group. Anyone doesn't know how to configure, follow the document step by step process. You will easily configure core Java in your system. After following that document, still if you have any doubt, you can connect me personally. I will help you if you have any doubt. Okay. So after installation, these three terms which we have to know, like or during the installation, also you will see JDK, JRE, JVM. Right? Let's understand what is this. So when I'm talking about Java configuration, it is means you have to download a JDK. Now JDK comes with different versions. I do not know the latest version. I am using JDK 8. It is a very old version. Okay. Currently, I guess JDK 18 also available. If I'm not wrong, so you can download the latest one. So if I'm talking about Java, you have to download JDK version. From where to download, everything is mentioned in the document. So what is JDK? What are the things it contains? So this entire JDK, if you see this diagram, this entire JDK contains first thing is JRE and second thing is development tools. This is second section. This is first section. So let's come on to the first section. It contains JVM, sorts of libraries, some jar files, and then there are some other files also. So this JDK is a superset. Under this, there are two sections. One is JRE, one is this one. Under JRE, this is the important one, JVM, because it is the one which will run our programs that we will run in core Java, that we will write in core Java, right? Apart from the JVM, there are some jar files libraries are there. Okay, these jar files and library are useful for like in core Java. There are so many concepts, so many classes, so many methods, right? So all those are available in this jar and the library format. All these are available in the jar format, library format. So all these jar files also we need so that we can use those classes, those methods, right? So once we download JDK, everything comes as a bundle. There are some other files are also for other things like internal operations. So this JDK comes as a bundle which contains everything. JRE, under JRE there is a JVM libraries, other files, and there is separate section. And in this section you will see development tools like Java, C, and Java. Java C is compiler. Java is basically used to run your Java core Java program from the command line. From CMD also you can run your Java program. So in that case we use Java. But while running from Eclipse, you will not see like what you will not write Java C or Java. Just you will click on a button and these two operations will be done internally. But if you have to do from operating system, then first of all you have to write Java C command that will compile your code. Then you have to write Java, then it will run your program. So manually you have to do this through process, but in Eclipse, all this you can perform by just single click on a run button. Okay, so these are the development tools for running your Java program. So what is the process? First of all, you have to download this JDK. You have to configure it with your Eclipse project. First of all, you have to do some environment level settings. That is also documented in the document that you will easily see, and you can do it by your own. If not, then I'm there to help you. Okay, fine. This is the diagram about JDK, JRE, JVM. Okay. Now move on to the class and object. Now this class and object in core Java is very much important. I would say must. Without this two, you cannot do anything in core Java. Without class, without object, you cannot do anything in core Java. Every time you have to deal with the class and object. That is why understanding is very much important. The first class is the base. If you understand the first class, then from then nothing will create any problem to you. So first of all, let's see the definition of a class. A class is a group of objects. Now the next question is what is object? So that I will explain from the diagram. Just I'm reading the definition. A class is a group of objects which has common properties. Again, the class is a template, or you can say class is a blueprint from which objects are created. It is a logical entity. This is important. It can't be physical. Like a class is virtual. The existence of class is virtual. Class doesn't have any physical existence. This is important to understand. One more thing I would add, it is a data type of an object. This thing you will not see written over anywhere. Like a class is a data type of an object. Everywhere you will see it is a template, it is a blueprint. Right. How it is a data type, I will explain in the program. So this is the definition of a class. Important thing to remember, it doesn't have any physical identity. Now come to the object. It is an entity that has a state and behavior, and it has a physical identity. That means it has a physical existence. Object has a physical existence, but class doesn't have any physical existence. It has a state. What is the meaning of state? Any data representation of any data that give me some idea about that particular state. Behavior means doing any particular functionality, like if I take the example of ATM, then depositing and withdrawing the amount. So these are the activity. So if I'm talking about activity functionality, that its meaning is behavior in the program I'm talking about. And when I'm talking about data, then its general meaning is a state. So on a very general level, if I say an object has a state and behavior, and on the programming basis, if I say an object will have a data and will have a method. You can do functionality with the help of method in program. You can represent a state with the help of a variable that will hold a data. So now an object has a state and behavior on a very general definition I'm saying, but on a technical definition, if I go, then an object will have a data and will have a method. Correct? Now let's see this diagram.
Uh, Sunny, why this class can't be a physical? So what does it exact meaning physical?
I will come to that one. With this
Okay.
diagram, you will understand. If I'm talking about the word animal, so what pictures will come in your mind? Elephant. My voice is breaking to everyone, or am I audible to some of you?
You
Yeah,
are
Maybe the connectivity issue from your side. That is why my voice is breaking to you. Okay. So if I talk about animal, then the picture to which will come to in my mind is elephant, lion, tiger, deer, right? But can you create a picture on your mind of animal? Only animal. Is it possible to create the picture of animal? Whenever I talk animal, cat, dog, deer, elephant, lion, tiger, all this will come into our mind, not the animal. So animal is a class actually. This doesn't have any physical existence. When it becomes physically existent, once I talk about animal, yes, I have seen animal, I have seen elephant, I have seen dog, I have seen cat. So then it becomes physically existence in the real world. But animal doesn't have any physical existence. It is virtual. So animal is a class, and elephant, lion, tiger are objects. So one thing that we can draw from this statement is object gives the physical existence of a class, right? Object gives the physical existence of a class. Class will not have any physical existence unless we talk about the object that represents that class. So once object will come into the picture, class will also take the physical existence. So animal is a category. Under that category, these are comes. Category is virtual, but when I talk is about a specific category, then that becomes physical. Then that takes identity. Okay. Any doubt?
Then what is the purpose of class when it's virtual?
Right. Because this state in behavior that I'm talking about, that we cannot define inside an object. That we define inside a class. These two will be virtual. These two will not have any identity. These two will becomes existence when I will create an object. When I will create an object, then that state and the behavior that I'm defining for a class, that will become physically existence. On a very technical term, if I say all this existence and everything are memory location. When I create a class, it will not occupy any space in memory. When I will create an object, then only it will occupy some space in the memory. So this is the meaning of physical existence. In that programming concept, it will occupy some space in the memory. So what is the meaning of class? We can, if we do everything with the help of object. Yes, that this is the correct question. But under the object, we cannot define a state and a behavior. Under the class only, we can define the state and behavior. That means the data variables and the methods. All we have to define inside a class, and all will be non-existence. Once we create an object of that particular class, then that state and behavior, the data, then the method that we have created, that we can access it and that we can use it. So once we can access and use it, that means those two has taken the space in the memory, and now both are physically available. If I come to this second diagram, so person, again person, there is no existence of person. When I take the name John, then I know, okay, I know a person whose name is John. I know a person whose name is Pawan, right? Person doesn't have any identity, doesn't have any physical identity. So what will be its state? Its state will be name, age, city, gender, right? And what will be its method? Behavior, it eat, study, sleep, play, all these are activity, behavior. So these two will be defined in a class. How all this will be accessible? How, see, everything are just a definition. Once I will create an object, then it will get its value. Name John, age 35, city Delhi, gender male. Similarly for this lady, name Daisy, age 20, city Pune, gender female. Currently, this is generic. These data members and methods are generic. Once I create an object called boy or a man, and when I assign some value, then it gets some physical identity with the help of object. Now this is an object. This is a second object. So this is a generic template that is provided to the objects. Now object can now we can create an object of for this class, and I can use this generic template and provide some value over there. Now it will occupy some space in the memory once I will start assigning values. So this is what happens in internally. This is the diagram that I can, and now you can understand what I'm explaining. Class is just a virtual thing that has some generic template. This generic template you cannot create inside an object. This generic template has been created in a class. Now you can create an object and you can access all this generic template based on your requirement. What data you want to assign, what you want to do with these methods. Now it's up to you. How do you want to do? What do you want to do, right? So class is just a generic template. There is second one diagram is a class, right? It has a state called integer color is, and it has a method called eat, sleep, and run. So let's see public class cat is a class. It becomes all these generic things are defined inside a class. It will take physical identity once I will create an object. So this is the syntax of creating an object in program. One object, second object I have created. Now this object can use this generic template. The second object can also use this generic template. Like for a class, we can create multiple objects, but each and every class will follow this generic template only. It cannot do anything outside whatever has been defined inside a class. Okay. Now let me go to the Eclipse and draw the same thing with the helper program. Then you will understand. So after installing and after configuring your JDK with your Eclipse, you have to create a project. How to create a project? You will create on file. You will click on file, then new, then Java project. Select on this. Here you have to give a name. I'm giving a Java project name as core Java. 10th September. Click on finish. Okay. So now our project has been created. Expand this. We will see some library. I was saying about the library. See the jar files. This is what I was explaining in the document. This libraries in jar files. Now this you can see here. All these are the jar files which are useful to do programming in core Java. Okay. Now there an SRC folder by default will be created. This is nothing but a package. What is package? I will come on to this also. I will take a separate class for this. But as of now, just remember when you create a Java project and when you want to create a class, if you have to do any programming, you have to create a class. So that class you can create under a folder, under a package only. Under a package only you can create a class. This is just remember this thing as of now. When I will take a package class, then you will understand why we have to create a class in package and what are the facilities and advantages of a package. Okay. So under this package, how you will create a class? Just right click over here. Go to new and you will see an option called class. Click on this. Suppose I'm creating a class called person. Okay, person is a class I want to create. And this checkbox we have to select. Why? I will explain you in some time. Why this public static void man is important. After writing the class name, select this checkbox and click on finish. Now see a class has been created. Forget about this one as of now. Just ignore this one. Focus on the class. So I have created a class called person. Same diagram I am going to implement in the program. This diagram. Okay. Now one by one we will cover the rest of the topics, like what is data member, what is method. But before that, let's take a break of 5 minutes. Then we will come on to this programming part. So we will start the class from 8:37. So come back by 8:37.
Okay.
Okay.